Already started, Connor.
Oh,
You're the producer.
wait. Well, let me leave so I don't interrupt anything.
Yeah, you're good, bro. What if Connor was like? What if Connor was like?
Huh?
I said I'll be sure I didn't leave anything out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this football on.
What if Connor was like our gamer?
All right, JB, look up. Connor, look it up.
Look up Connor.
Look up what?
You know?
Oh, like the Joe Rogan thing.
Yes.
That is like it. Hey, if this podcast gets big enough, I'll definitely take that long.
You don't know anything about audio? So, dude, you're always throwing stuff. What's that about?
Oh man, it's all I ever really did growing up. Threw the ball around. Yeah, loved baseball. Played until I was about 18. Missed it every day since. Every time I throw the ball, feels good. Brings back some nostalgia for me. But yeah, what kind of made me get back into throwing? Once I was done with baseball for a long time, was a little bit lost. Took up strength training, didn't know much about it, just did what I knew, which was more like pro lifts, go do your curls and your bench press and all that. Skip legs at all costs. And, like no mobility at all. Got some pretty big arms, thought I was like big and strong, really wasn't. Did a lot of those like lifts for a long time, didn't really get anywhere. Kind of beat my body down over time. Really resulted in like just wear and tear on my body. So that led me to seek out ATG. As I was personal trainer, I seeked out ATG because I had this imposter syndrome while I was training. That how am I going to help people feel good in their bodies if I don't feel good in my body? So found ATG. Didn't train legs much before then, and all I really took in the beginning was sled. Just use the sled, and I used it every day for like a month or two. Still really didn't squat or do any other leg training outside of that, and I literally felt like I had new legs in 2 months just from pushing and pulling the sled 5-10 minutes a day. Nothing too crazy, but sled is like the foundation, so that really helped me a lot. And then once I discovered my new legs, I kind of went all in, and I nerded out on this ATG stuff for like 2+ years now. I love it still. It's the majority of my training. And why did I get back into throwing?
Well, no. What do you enjoy about throwing?
Man.
What is it that makes you want to throw?
That's a good question. Dude, honestly, it was just something I was always kind of naturally gifted at. Like everybody kind of has their something they find that they're more skilled at than others, and that was just always my thing growing up. Like from a young kid up until high school, I was one of the best players on my team, humbly speaking, and like it was all because of my arm. Like It wasn't because I was fast. It wasn't because I could do much of anything else, just because I had a big arm. So that was really just my strength growing up before I got into the strength training stuff. So yeah, I just it was something I was always gifted at. So it's something I just kind of remained curious about, even after when I was not throwing as much. It's like, I wonder if I can still, So yeah, it's just one of those things. So
like humans. Sorry,
no, it's very.
I'm asking because it's like we've been throwing for thousands of years. We used to use it to like gather food, so I feel like it's something very primal. I mean, what do you know about humans? Like why they developed the ability to throw? Like what do you think are some of the things we used to use it for, and then why do you think we're using that ability now?
Sure, to hunt, maybe. If I could think of like the earliest hook of anything, it was probably to hunt something down or to kill something for food or something like that. Just being, having the ability to do it and the precision and the accuracy to do it. There's a lot that falls into throwing. So that's another reason why I like it, is because it's kind of an art form in itself, in the sense of everybody's throwing a little bit differently. Everyone's body functions differently, so there's no one perfect way to throw a ball. And that's what I really like about it, is that there's guys who succeed at a high level, throwing, maybe their arm slot is way over top. And there's another guy across the country who's just as successful and his arm slot is across the body. So it's like there's no one way to do it. That's why it's so appealing to me, because there's it gives you freedom to be creative. Sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think that's a cool thing that correlates with sports is like throwing something that needs to help us survive, right? So it's jumping, so it's running, so it's tackling. Like you had to, hit things with a bat. You would be like using weapons,
right?
So it's really interesting, like how that correlates to what we enjoy watching now. Like it's things to do for entertainment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so satisfying to like make a good throw too.
Oh man, like 100%. Like, I mean, I didn't play a lot of outfield, but like an example would be a guy catching a fly ball in the outfield and somebody's testing their arm from third base to tag up to home, and they got a big gun to home plate. Like, that's one of the more exciting plays to make as a baseball player, to show off your arm strength, to show off like how quick you can get the ball there, how accurate you can make the throw. That's an exciting play. Like, anytime you can really display your skill on it, it's a really exciting play for any baseball player, any moment in the game, really.
Yeah.
But like you said, making a good throw is exciting. Like, I played baseball up until I was 18. When I was in like 5th grade, I was playing like a lot of backyard football the one summer, and I figured, I'm just gonna try to play football. Well, backyard football, a lot different than organized football with pads. I found out the hard way. But they made me the quarterback, and like, man, I still had the big arm and everything. I was to be straight up, I was just out there scared, man. I was so scared I was gonna get hit by one of these beastly kids. And I was playing, kids were a little bit older. They've been playing since they were this tall. Yeah. I'm new. I was like, man, I was out there shook, but yeah, that was like more of a one and done thing. Football, I can still be your backyard football quarterback, and I feel like I'll thrive. But throwing the pads on, that's a different story. So a lot of respect to anybody playing quarterback. That's got to be one of the hardest positions in all sports.
Oh, shout out to Mooch. What year did you play in?
He played. I think he played quarterback, but I think he was more of a defensive player. Played a lot of safety.
Yeah.
So he probably felt a little bit of the same way. He probably like hit people more than he like getting hit. So I found that out hard.
Yeah.
But the reason why I came back to throwing after all these years, I haven't thrown like consistently in 10 plus years. I used to be a pitcher. I used to throw a lot. Like, every chance I could, if I was available to pitch, I was pitching.
Yeah.
And the reason why I just got back into it is because I felt my training paying off for me so much that it gave me almost a new vehicle to operate in. Like, I've never felt as good in my body as I do today, strength and mobility wise, thanks to ATG. And I'm like, how can I showcase my new abilities? Like, and what better way to showcase your abilities than what you love most? And for some people, it's jumping. Some people, it's running. That's the beauty of ATG to me. It's like, you can take it, you can apply it to your niche however you want. And that's what I'm doing with throwing. So I figured I have this new vehicle to operate in, my new body. I'm 27. I've thrown consistently since I was about 18. If I can, take all this time away and come back to throwing and throw better and harder than I ever have, then that is a true testament to the training I've been doing over time. Because I have not been training like a baseball player in the last 10 years. But like I said, you can take this stuff and you can apply it however you like. So that's the beauty of it.
And what do you think sets this training apart from traditional baseball training? What are some of the key things that your training or ACG training is providing for baseball players that traditional baseball training isn't. Because you just said you haven't been training like them, you're getting faster at a higher rate than you were before.
Right. Yeah, good question. The baseball community, I feel there's a bit of a disconnect with strength training and the sport they play. A lot of baseball players are in the mind frame of because baseball is a game of explosion and quick bursts of power through a swing or through a throw or whatever the case may be. So they take a lot of that demand and bring it into their training. So they do a lot of I've seen a lot of explosive catch lifts or what do you call those standing jerkers? Do you know what those are?
Bench press?
Yeah, like the standing. Yeah, where they explode up out. I see a lot of I see a lot of quick, explosive, kind of movement patterns in their training, like explosive med balls, and just they take what their sport demands and they kind of take it over into sport specific into their weight. They don't. You said what is the biggest difference with the ATG stuff? I don't think they spend enough time, strengthening through those lengthened positions to be strong through the full range of motion. They're really only worried about that top portion or end exertion of their expression, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say they're so focused on acceleration, they never train deceleration.
That's another big one. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, baseball's very forward. You're coming forward from the ball. I won't say they don't spend time doing any of the deceleration, but the truth is that they only they treat it as almost like maintenance or an accessory. They don't spend the time getting measurably strong.
Yeah.
In that deceleration motion.
Yeah, I never see baseball players there.
No, you might see them for the game with some bands along the fence doing their external rotations, but they're just bringing blood flow, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But truth of the matter is that if that's the only time you're spending working this motion, over time you're doing a lot more of this forward motion that it's not going to be able to withstand those repetitive forces over time. So it's how strong can you get in that decel to then make you strong in the acceleration?
Yeah.
So
plus if you're only doing the shortened one, you're getting really strong in the
top
short
range.
Position in the top range, but then you're not getting anything down here.
No.
Where do you end up in a throw? You end up down here
a lot.
So you want to be able to the forces you're applying here. You want to be able to sustain that.
Yeah. Both are really important. Getting strong through the bottom range where the most tension lies, and then same at the top. The other day, I did cable externals because I don't work that top enough.
Right.
And I felt it. I didn't use a lot of weight. I squeezed really hard at the top, felt it, and gave the rest. It's working both. Super important.
And what do you think about? And I'm not sure. I don't think it's controversial or anything. But what do you think about the lack of rotational exercises in the ATG system?
It's a good question. That's a really good question. I personally think, and it's kind of the same thought process as Ben kind of serves to playing sport of basketball and training jumping, or plyometrics, so to say. We do plyos in ATG, but we spend a lot more time focusing on strengthening and having mobility through the lengthened positions and things like that. But the lack of rotational training in ATG, I would say the demands of the sport of baseball kind of have it covered already. You're doing your sport a lot. You're rotating a lot through one side explosively over and over and over and over. So in my mind, I'm why after 200 swings, would you go grab a med ball and swing it into the wall and do the same thing? I get where people's heads are at. It's that's just going to make me more explosive and stronger through that range.
Right.
Really, you're just breaking your body down. You ought to do some opposite work. Maybe if you want to go grab the med ball and swing the opposite side that you just swung 200 times through the ball, that I could go for something like that, but I think there's a time and place for rotational explosive movements like with the med ball and things. I wouldn't completely count them out. But during season, I would say put more of a primary focus on strengthening the muscles that rotate. So, for example, like a QL. If you play baseball and you have a crazy strong QL, and you can do it on a back extension, you can hold 50 plus whatever pounds, that's likely going to carry over to your swing or your throw or whatever the case may be. It's going to keep you strong and healthy during the season as well. So I think the quick answer to that is the sport of baseball. You're getting enough rotational work playing sport, practicing sport, doing that. Put more focus on strengthening and being strong through the ranges of the rotation. So strengthen the muscles that rotate. That's kind of my take on that.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And then the muscles that keep your shoulder in place, right?
Yep.
The hip flexors to open up the hips, all of that. I agree. I think that when it comes to, I'm not a baseball player, but if I were to compare that to martial arts, the way I think about it is like you're getting enough of the neural adaptation actually doing the sport, like practicing on the bag or on the minutes, or tossing people around in jiu-jitsu, for example, and you're not getting enough of the hardware development doing the actual sport. So that's why you then use the weight room to balance out the things that you're doing in the sport, and to strengthen the things that you're already doing in the sport, even, right? Like you said, you're working the muscle to help you rotate stronger, which you're also doing with the ball, but the ball is more for software adaptation.
Yeah.
And which you're already getting a ton of in the sport.
Ton of it.
So if you're gonna be doing things in the gym, generally I would lean on spending more time on the hardware. So.
Exactly. Just giving yourself the best chance to be able to continue doing that over and over and over and over and not lose power and not get weak. Because if you just continue to do it over and over and over and over without, like you said, prioritizing some hardware and getting in here in the weight room and getting strong, you're gonna wither away. You're gonna get hurt. It is a matter of time. And then when guys get hurt, then they're waiting to play for however long, they're nursing the injury, and then they're in the weight room not by choice, but by assignment. And it's not fun then. It's a terrible time to nurse an injury in the weight room. And that's kind of the relationship I think holds baseball players back from getting in there sooner, is they have this idea of, if I'm in the weight room, something's got to be not right, because I'm probably here to fix something, when really you don't got to be in there to fix something. You can just be in there getting strong as hell to play your sport better.
Yeah. Do your prehab before you have to do your rehab.
It's so simple. Why wait? Why wait until you're hurt?
Yeah.
It's going to be that much harder to get out of that hole. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think prehab doesn't even cover it. I mean, all training should in a way be prehab, right? Like you're trying to become more resilient against injury as well as getting stronger. 100%. What a lot of the thing that people don't, maybe they don't connect the dots or it just doesn't get talked about enough, is that strength training is getting stronger, getting harder to hurt is actually just going to allow you to then get stronger.
100%.
And you don't.
It's right? It sounds like so simple.
It's so simple, but
this is something that is so far out of people's brains that both of us are doing jumping jacks now every single day.
They're like, hey, listen here,
please,
we're trying to spread the word.
Spend time getting strong. It will be in your best interest, I promise. But yeah, man, just trying to break that mold of the no pain, no gain. I think a lot of people still have an idea about the weight room and getting strong that existed in a time when it was, the CP Fletcher days and the pig iron and all the running and all the. It was great. Don't get me wrong. I love those guys too, but man, just not my cup of tea. I want to feel good. I want to feel better walking out of the gym than when I walked in. That's my goal most days coming in here. But
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And even if you're a bodybuilder or a powerbuilder, I believe you can do, or
100%.
I believe you can do that. 100%. Yeah, it's just about having an open mind and not only sticking to that type of training. It's like taking things from every successful
Exactly.
style. You
So
know,
many ways to train.
something that Bruce Lee kind of started, but then carried on with many. Patrick being one of them. He just like takes things from calisthenics, from gymnastics, wrestling, powerlifting, like Olympic lifting, like all these different modalities. Yoga puts it all together into one system, and I think if if somebody wants to become a world class athlete in their training, I think that's the way to do it. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your goals with baseball players going forward,
Man,
as far as training?
well, I kind of want to break that mold, like what we've talked about of, you know, finding the place to implement this stuff into baseball players, whether it be during, I think you can do it year round, but like to a degree, you might have to scale things differently, but just bringing that awareness to what this kind of training can do to your game, because I don't think it's very prevalent in the game of baseball. So just kind of being the poster child of that, however I can do that. Um, yeah, I want to help as many people as I can with it. Personally, goal would be like this is a big scary goal that I haven't really announced yet, but so going back to when I was like 18, I got clocked at about 82 miles an hour. Nothing crazy, nothing that it's not bad, but it's not.
Good.
It's not.
I can think you can throw harder
It's
than
solid. So 18, no strength foundation at all. Like I said earlier, I've always had a big arm. That's been my basically only strength that's got me to this point. Taken probably 10 years off of throwing like a pitcher. But if I can just pick a ball up one of these days here soon and throw remotely close or harder than what I have, I'm going to be excited. So my big scary goal is to throw 90 miles an hour. That is my goal. So
let's go.
I'm going to apply this kind of training and start training like a baseball player and maybe sign up for like a local league or something like that just to get me back into swinging things. But that's the goal, road to 90. So, and I don't even know what I throw yet. So let me find out. If I had to guess, I'm probably throwing like low to mid 80s right now. There's definitely a lot of things I could improve on. Like just being strong is not gonna, get you to where you want to get. There's so much that ties into throwing. That's why I like it, because it's not a simple, like one fits all solution. There's things that people need to work on. Some people have great skills in mechanics and have everything tied in, and they're weak as hell. And some people are strong and maybe need to tweak their mechanics a little bit, or maybe change their arm slot and things like that. So there's a lot of ways I can go about it. I could probably get coached up from somebody. So if anybody's interested in gathering a cool testimonial, then yeah. But yeah, that's the goal. Road to 90.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would stick to the strengths for now, but definitely think that you could turn it into more like a holistic thing, or you could even partner up with somebody that's like a throwing coach.
Yeah. I'm there's a few guys I've had small conversations with, but
Heck yeah.
absolutely. I see something happening with that for sure.
That's awesome. So you're gonna sign up for a league?
I was looking the other day. Shoot, I'm in Florida. There ought to be somewhere to play.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I've been asking guys who are local around what they think the best league might be and stuff. That's just only the last few days. So yeah, I'm looking to I want to play again, dude. Like, and that's another part of this. Is like, how much of my word are you going to take if I ain't doing the thing? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I can talk about what I used to do all day, which really isn't super impressive, but if I can, be a testament to what I'm talking about, that'll be huge.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm saying, like, hey, this is what I did to get here, here I am, or this is what I'm doing to get to this spot, I think people will resonate with that a little bit more, because there's a lot of phonies out there, dude, just trying to monetize their name on social media or whatever. Like, I think if you come from a spot of generally wanting to help while improving yourself, it'll come back in abundance. So
Yeah, 100%.
that's kind of the approach I'm taking towards it. Help as many people as I can and continue to improve on your own stuff as well.
Yeah, this is the way.
All right.
That's why, I completely agree. So, yeah, that's kind of why I feel like I shouldn't talk to martial artists because like, I'm not competing anymore. So,
yeah, but in a sense, like somebody told me just the other day, somebody was telling me, Riley, you're resistant to making this content and you don't even know it, but it's because you're not doing the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right, dude. Like, it would be easy to call me a phony or like, what's this kid doing? Like swinging a bat in his backyard. He doesn't even play. Type. I get it. Like, I could see that. It's clear as day. So yeah, it's up to me to put my abilities to the test.
Yeah. You throw a
Practice what I preach. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm on it. Don't worry. Like,
that's good.
I'm getting on it. I'm super excited for what's going to come up with all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to sign up for a few jiu-jitsu tournaments next year.
Yeah. That's all it really would take.
I know. Yeah. Well, I've competed in a few, but it's just like I don't have the time, man. You know, I'm always.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah,
but I'm gonna figure it out once I'm a little less busy. I definitely want to get back into it. Tiff's still going to the school that we were both going to.
Yeah,
like concept jiu-jitsu.
And like,
so
I heard
she's been killing it. She's gonna compete for sure.
Oh,
I'm gonna make sure she does. She doesn't want to.
Hell yeah!
Make sure she
then
does.
You can start talking about my wife needs a jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
so I can talk.
No, man, I've competed and
that's what I'm saying.
I've fought in Muay Thai too, so like I feel comfortable about it. But it's like if I'm making content about it, people are gonna be like, you know, so
yeah,
are you
a 3-time champion or whatever?
No, definitely not, man. I would love to dedicate my life to martial arts.
Exactly.
It's just, it doesn't really pay you that well unless you're like top.
Problem with a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you end up, but you end up with brain damage because I know a few friends that literally have it. It's a scary thing that nobody wants to talk about, but it's the truth. Like I literally watched a guy completely transform. And I looked at him and I was like, man, I don't know if I should keep doing this.
Yeah, it kind of was a wake up call.
Yeah,
you can, man.
You
can learn from other people's mistakes too. You don't have to make as much of your own as you think.
Yeah,
you know, like you saw that day and you're like, you probably reconsidered a lot of things. And you're like, man,
yeah,
I don't want to be brain dead.
I was training for an MMA fight and he was competing in Muay Thai, and he just went down a few times during the fight. Got knocked down multiple times and the coach kept putting him back in there, and I won't say who it is, but he was completely different. Like I kind of noticed it one day. He was at my birthday party. I kind of noticed he was super fidgety and just like random everywhere, and he's always been a very nice, organized guy. So I was like, dude, something's going on. And I talked to his family, we talked to the coach, and he was like, yeah, this happened at the fight, and he's never really started acting the same since then. So I alerted his family. I was like, hey, you need to get him to a neuroscience, somebody specialist to see him. Right. Somebody would know how to go with this. And I did all kinds of research on like concussion protocols and like how to come back from brain damage. And I told his family, I was like, hey, set up appointments for him. They did, and he never went. Like to multiple ones, because he didn't want to acknowledge it.
Like he probably don't even want to know. It's almost like less than because he knows.
Yeah,
he knows why.
He got fired from his job. He was always super organized, like was like top notch in his career. Completely. And he got fired from his job for yelling at someone during training. And then they let him go for a third strike, but I don't remember what it was. And then he was like trying to get with his best friend's wife, like sleeping with her and stuff.
Just acting out.
Just completely out of character. And so that's like the weird side of fighting. It's like, hey, these things can happen. And there was a lot more, but I don't want to talk about it. But these things can happen, and it's like you don't even realize it.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the risk versus reward at that point? You can enjoy fighting, you can enjoy it as much as you possibly can. But it's like at the end of the day, you get hit in the head wrong one time or one too many times. Like, did you love it as much as you thought now that you could barely talk?
Right.
But
it's a decision you have to make. Like, if you go into professional fighting, you go in there knowing that. And it's, more bravo to those people because like they're really great to be able to do that. So much respect for professional fighters. I wanted to do it, man, but I just, like I said, I wanted to be personal trainer, and it's like you only have one life. You got to choose specifically.
I wouldn't let.
I like helping people.
As much as I just talked about, I have to walk the walk and do the thing.
Yeah.
Regardless of if I was going to do that, I wouldn't have let that stop me from talking about what I already know.
Oh yeah.
So in a sense, like some of the best coaches across all sports never even played sport.
True.
It's true. I can't give you any examples, but look up because I'm sure there's some in there. Like I know it. Or shoot, even like sport. We won't talk about analysts because those are like just kind of people talk. But they know the game,
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, but jiu-jitsu, I love jiu-jitsu. I'll definitely be doing that again. It's just a matter of getting back on the mats. I'm only like a one-stripe white belt. My first competition, I won the first match in like 15 seconds. I just took the dude down and submitted him. The second one, he was apparently about to get his blue belt, and this was like the final like tournament before he got his blue belt, and he was really hard. He didn't submit me, but like we did three or four different rounds. We did nogi and gi in the same because he was in the same weight class, and he ended up beating me both times. So I went 1 and 2.
There you go. Not bad.
Martial arts was awesome. Record. Yeah, Muay Thai went 5-0, but that was something I trained for a lot longer before I even did my first competition.
I know Mike Tillman's always shout out Mike Tillman, always telling me to get on you to fight.
Oh really? That'd be awesome.
Back in MMA, dude. You know he wants to do.
Oh, I would love to, man.
I know he wants to.
It's so much fun.
But like you said, it's a big commitment, and it's a different commitment than going to throw a ball.
Oh, I'm gonna be back in jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I'm gonna be competing in jiu-jitsu, and it's gonna be awesome because I can do that for the rest of my life. I could be rolling when I'm 80, 90. I don't see myself fighting Muay Thai until I'm 70. Even, like the Thai master who taught me, he was like pretty rough. Saying like 70, but he was still sparring, and I was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing that until I'm that old. Yeah, like jiu-jitsu is more fun because it's like you're just you tap. You're like, okay, I'll give in.
Yeah.
You don't get hurt if you have
Muay Thai. You literally have to get knocked down.
You don't have to. If you have good sparring partners, I think you can do it all your life. I think the Thais are amazing. They set such a good example when it comes to sparring because they just lightly play. Whereas boxers just going all out. Boxing is a little bit different. It's just a different cultures, like Muay Thai it's like a recreational sport in Thailand. It's like their national sport. That's what they do. They love it. So they do it year round. So they're constantly just sparring lightly, and then when they actually fight, they fight hard. Yeah, they fight to because that's their way of living. Like if you don't win or you don't fight, you don't make money. So you can't eat.
Yeah, fighting for food, literally.
Yeah, that's how it gets hardcore. Like pressure makes down, bro.
Yeah.
So the pressure's on, bro. You got to get it going. I don't think I ever even introduced Riley, but I think this is episode number 9 of the Physical Freedom Podcast, and Riley's actually my roommate. We living down here in Clearwater, in Florida. What about ATG made you want to move down all the way from Colorado down to live there?
From Ohio.
Sorry, Ohio.
Close. My brother lives in Colorado.
That's right. That's what I that.
I'm from Canton, Ohio. What made me move down here, man? I was just, like I said, I was doing a lot of this stuff on my own, and I was feeling what it was doing to my body, and it was like undeniable progress. And I started teaching it to clients and things like that, and just kept gaining more of an interest, kept diving down the rabbit hole. The more I did it, the more I wanted to be down here. So I came out here for an expo.
Which expo was your first one?
First expo was in October 2022. And just met some of the guys, and I was in here in the gym with Ben Clarkfield, and he was leading us through a workout. And I'm looking around at everybody doing, coming from a place where I'm literally the only person doing split squats or any of this stuff throughout the entire gym. And I'm doing it on my own. I don't even know if I'm doing it right to an extent. to come from that and to come into here and just have everybody doing split squats.
Yeah.
Everybody doing all the stuff I've been doing. It was like, it felt as if I found my tribe to an extent. So after that visit, I knew 100% that I had to get down here.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you find? Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good, how are y'all?
Good. Are you guys in the middle of telling something?
Yeah, we are. But that's okay. Yeah, you're good.
Look
We can-
around. Totally fine.
Yeah, we can call
This
it.
is my first time here.
Oh, okay.
Good evening from Illinois. I'm Riley.
Riley, me too.
Ruben, nice to meet you.
I am Riley as well.
Go ahead. Yes, you understand probability. Yeah. Okay, sweet. This is my girlfriend, Lindsay. Nice to meet you. She just signed up for ATG coaches today.
Awesome. Let's go.
Yeah. We're planning to move here, so we just came to
Nice.
do some tours, check out the gym. We're trying to be closer to this. Yeah.
I love it. That is a full circle moment. We were just talking about Riley. What made you move down to Clearwater and do all this stuff? I'm like, I just want to be around these people and do this stuff and learn this stuff. Like, I just needed to be around it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And here's Riley about to move to Clearwater. So that is a cool moment. Full circle. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you have mind if we like a quick workout?
Dude,
yeah. Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's been what are we at? All it's another guy named Riley
Walks in talking about, I'm thinking about moving to the area, as I just got asked why I moved to the area. That just happened.
That's cool to see. Yeah, man. But what I already forgot where we're at.
You asked, what made me move to the area? I came to an expo. I was so fired up that I knew I had to move here. Long story short, like I hit it off with a lot of the guys around here. I knew that ATG training was kind of my path. I'm like, if I'm going to continue doing the training stuff, this is the kind of training I want to do. So I figured if I move down here, I'm going to learn a lot quicker than if I, stay in Ohio by myself trying to learn it virtually, which there's still value to an extent. Like there's a huge community in ATG and they do a great job of spreading knowledge online. That's super interactive with all the coaches, things like that. So that's awesome. But to be in it, to be down the street.
Yeah, you have to be really passionate. I imagine you also have more personal training opportunities than you can.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
There's just a lot
in
more.
home, but there's just a lot more going on around the floor. I mean, shoot, you don't have to be very smart to know there's more going on in Florida than you don't want to. So that's why I am in Florida now.
Yeah, a lot more baseball too.
A lot of baseball, and it's year round because in Ohio it gets cold, and you're throwing the ball around a basketball gym instead of outside of the sun. So it's like that. It's very different. Very different. Yeah. Well, happy we're here now, and happy to be rooming with Ruben and Tiff. It's been a great time, and I feel like we're only at the beginning too.
Oh yeah, everything's just getting started
Yeah.
as far as ATG in general, but even just like I was living down here, we've been here almost a year now. It's kind of crazy to think about. It came quick. It came by so
That
quick.
way, but yeah.
Just going between different gyms and everything so far. It's been pretty crazy, but it definitely gave me a lot of confidence just knowing that like anywhere I go, I'm gonna have my own talents and then still be able to help people, service people anywhere I go, whether I want to do it on my own business or through another gym.
Right.
So I think that's pretty huge. I think there's a lot of opportunities coming both of our ways, honestly too. You mentioned something about starting a regimen down there, or not a regimen, but what's it called? Impulse.
Oh yeah. Impulse. So the gym I worked at in Ohio called Impulse. They're looking to. It was a local gym in Ohio. They're looking to add a branch gym here in Florida. So that is in the works. I have no clue how long that's going to take, but looking forward when that does happen because we'll step into that role. I'll be really excited for that. Absolutely.
Awesome, really. Yeah. Well, is there anything you want to give baseball players or tell them about ATG?
man, do your split squats and no, I'm just kidding. No, do your split squats. No, really specific messages. It's like I got a lot to say. There's a lot that's going to unfold within the next year or so with all of this stuff because nobody's really brought ATG over to throwing sports, so to say. It's been a lot of basketball focus or, elderly longevity purposes, and it's great. But I think ATG is what the game of baseball is missing, and I think baseball players can benefit like tenfold from it. And I'm here to kind of be a poster child for that. So, yeah, follow me at Throwability.
Sweet. Lots of thanks coming, brother. Appreciate you doing the podcast with me.
Appreciate you having me on. Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Where are you from? Illinois? Illinois? Yeah. Hour out from Chicago. Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What about you?
Ohio.
Ohio? Yeah. When did you move there? 2.5 years ago. Oh, nice.
It's been a
Yeah.
It's great.
I was in St. Pete for about little over a year. Yeah. I was living in